नेशनलिज्म इन यूरोप हिस्ट्री चैप्टर 1 क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 है शॉर्ट आंसर्स में राइट शॉर्ट नोट्स ऑन नंबर 1 Giuseppe Mazzini, an Italian revolutionary who promoted the idea of unified Italian state. He formed two secret societies, namely Young Italy and Young Europe. B पार्ट है इसका Count Camillo di Cavour. He was the chief minister of Sardinia Piedmont. He made a careful diplomatic alliance with France to defeat Australian forces in 1859 and freed the northern part of Italy. C part है इसका The Greek War of Independence. This was a successful war of independence waged by Greek revolutionaries against Ottoman Empire. Point 2, they were supported by West European countries, poets and artists. And 3 है finally the Treaty of Constantinople of 1832 recognized Greece as an independent nation. Objective के लिए भी आपने याद रखना है Treaty of Constantinople ये कब हुई थी 1832 को हुई थी. दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. और रिवोल्यूशनरी कौन था कहाँ के थे ऑटोमन एम्पायर के. तो दिस वाज पार्ट सी. पार्ट डी फ्रैंकफर्ट पार्लियामेंट 3 पॉइंट्स में लर्न करना है. इट वॉज एन ऑल जर्मन नेशनल असेंबली फॉर्म्ड बाय द मिडिल क्लास प्रोफेशनल्स बिजनेसमैन एंड आर्टिस्ट्स वर्कर्स एंड लेबर्स. Point 2, it was convened on 18th May 1848 in the Church of St. Paul in Frankfurt. Number 3 point है this assembly drafted a constitution for a German nation to be headed by a monarchy subject to a parliament. मतलब constitution होगा लेकिन monarch head होगा. तो याद रखना है convened कब हुई थी 18th May 1848 में. चर्च कौन सी थी सेंट पॉल और जगह कौन सी थी फ्रैंकफर्ट. ई पार्ट है इसका द रोल ऑफ वुमेन इन नेशनलिस्ट स्ट्रगल वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. पॉइंट्स में ही याद करना है इसको भी. तो पॉइंट 1 वुमेन प्लेड एन इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल इन प्रोटेस्ट्स फॉर इक्वल पॉलिटिकल राइट्स. नंबर 2 है दे फॉर्म्ड देयर ओन पॉलिटिकल एसोसिएशंस एंड स्टार्टेड न्यूज़पेपर्स. Number 3 point है despite all this they were denied suffrage rights during the elections of assembly at Frankfurt. And number 4 point है women were admitted only as observers standing in the visitors gallery. Question number 2, what steps did the French revolutionaries take to create a sense of collective identity among the French people? एक जैसा. तो आंसर है द फ्रेंच revolutionaries took many steps to create a sense of collective identity among the French people, which were as follows. Point 1, ideas of the fatherland and the citizen, stressing on the notion of equal rights for all people under a constitution. 2 है a new national flag tricolor was adopted like India. इंडिया में भी tricolor है. Number 3, the State General was renamed the National Assembly, which was elected by a group of active citizens. Number 4 है uniform laws made for the entire nation. Number 5 है French language was made common language of the nation. और number 6 है national anthem was composed. तो कोई भी 5 पॉइंट्स आप इसमें ऐड कर सकते हो. बट फर्स्ट पॉइंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है आइडियाज़ ऑफ फादरलैंड एंड द सिटीजन, जैसे हम कहते हैं भारत माता, माता वाला आइडिया. हु वर मेरियन एंड जर्मनिया. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 है ये. व्हाट वाज द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ द वे इन विच दे वर पोर्ट्रेड. आंसर है डी लिखा है यहाँ बेटा, ये ANS है, ठीक कर लेना इसको. मेरियन एंड जर्मनिया वर फीमेल एलिगरीज फॉर द फ्रेंच एंड द जर्मन नेशंस रिस्पेक्टिवली. These female allegories were used to portray ideas such as liberty, justice and the republic. These allegories remind the public about the elections. Briefly trace the process of German unification. Answer, the Frankfurt Parliament in 1848 was the first major step taken towards unification of German state. The process of German unification was continued by Prussia under the chief minister of Prussia, Otto von Bismarck, with the help of Prussian army. 3 wars with Austria, Denmark and France were fought within a period of 7 years. These wars were ended with the victory of Prussia. William I, the Prussian king, was made German emperor on 9th January 1871. यानी कि जर्मन यूनिफिकेशन कब हुई थी 9th January 1871 को हुई थी. फ्रैंकफर्ट पार्लियामेंट इन 1948 से स्टार्ट हुई थी. क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 है. दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन, पेपर में जरूर आता है. व्हाट चेंजेस डिड नेपोलियन इंट्रोड्यूस टू मेक द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम मोर एफिशिएंट इन द टेरिटरीज रूल्ड बाय हिम. आंसर एस कर लेना डी को. नेपोलियन इंट्रोड्यूस्ड फॉलोइंग चेंजेस टू मेक एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम मोर एफिशिएंट इन द एरियाज रूल्ड बाय हिम. Number 1, he established civil code in 1804, also known as Napoleonic Code. Number 2 point है, he established equality before law. Number 3 है, he secured the right to property. Number 4 है, he abolished feudal system and freed peasants from serfdom. बेटा ये peasants हो गया है, L नहीं आएगा इसमें, peasants. Number 5 है, in towns. Long answer questions discuss. Explain what is meant by 1848 revolutions of the liberals. Answer पढ़ते हैं. By the 1848 revolution of liberals, we mean the revolution led by the educated middle class of Europe. In February 1848, monarchy was removed and a republic based on universal male franchise was formed. The social and economic ideas supported by the liberals are: politically, it emphasized the concept of government by the consent abolition of autocracy. Number 2, socially, the liberals supported the abolition of discrimination based on birth. And 3, economically, it stood for the abolition of trade restrictions imposed by the state. वो जो guild system था उसको remove किया था. Question number 2, choose 3 examples to show the contribution of culture. Answer: culture played an important role in creating the ideas of nation because of the following reasons. Number 1 reason is art and poetry, stories and music helped in shaping nationalist feelings in Europe. Number 2, romanticism was a cultural movement developed for national unity by creating a sense of shared heritage and common history. Number 3, folk dance, folk poetry, folk songs were considered the true expression of nationalism. And number 4, speaking in the vernacular language was another expression of nationalism. जब भी आप देशभक्ति की बात करते हो तो पोइट्री पढ़ते हो, स्टोरीज सुनाते हो देशभक्ति की, म्यूज़िक के थ्रू डिपिक्ट करते हो, फोक कहानियाँ सुनाते हो, तो यही सारी चीज़ें उस समय में यूरोप में हुई थी. Question number 4 है, how was the history of nationalism in Britain unlike the rest of Europe? Answer है, the history of nationalism in Britain unlike the rest of Europe because number 1, in Britain the formation of the nation state was not the result of a sudden revolution. Number 2, the English nation possessed Scotland and Ireland through a steady growth in property, wealth and power. Number 3 है, besides this the English language, British flag and national anthem were promoted as national symbols. And number 4 है, hence the Act of Union of 1707 between England and Scotland formed the United Kingdom of Great Britain. यानी कि Great Britain United Kingdom कैसे बना? Act of Union से, जो हुआ था 1707 में. एंड लास्ट क्वेश्चन है, डिस्कस हाउ बाल्कन रीजन बिकम ए सोर्स ऑफ नेशनलिस्ट टेंशन इन यूरोप आफ्टर 1871, यानी कि जर्मन यूनिफिकेशन के बाद. आंसर: नेशनलिस्ट टेंशन इमर्ज्ड इन द बाल्कन्स बिकॉज द बाल्कन स्टेट्स वर एस्पायरिंग फॉर नेशनलिज्म. द बाल्कन्स वाज ए रीजन comprising modern day Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, Greece and many more. The rebellions nationalities in the Balkans, though that thought that their struggle was the attempt to win back their long lost independence. यहाँ पे T लिख लेना, THOUGHT, thought. The rebellions जो nationalism लाना चाहते थे